Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to ROH Sports Show. I'm your host, Roderick. Ring of Honor Best in the World 2015 review. It's hitting off the air pay-per-view about an hour and a half ago. Over with the Pulse Boys in the Pulse Dungeon, looking at it, watching it, and did a review on the Pro Wrestling Pulse. Figured I'd come and do my own review here. Just run down this card real quick. Overall, kind of a letdown for a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Had some good moments, had some kind of lull moments. First match, we had Donovan Dijak, part of the House of Truth, versus Mark Briscoe. Donovan Dijak, like I said in the preview, kind of the new age Nigel McGuinness, really green in the ring, young guy. He's only been in a handful of pay-per-views. Looking eventually something big from this guy, figuring he'd get over on Mark Briscoe. Unfortunately, no. He had a Mark Briscoe victory, which I'm fine with that. I am a Briscoe fan, but not getting a young guy the victory here was kind of intriguing. Nothing really special, just kind of a here-there match. Mark Briscoe getting the victory. Next, we had the tag team of ACH and Matt Sydal versus the Decade of Adam Turn the Page and BJ Who Cares Whitner. Obviously, ACH, Matt Sydal, very dynamic, high-flying, very, want-to-watch type tag team. The Decade kind of Adam Cole Page, not as good as, Adam Page, not as good as Adam Cole, and BJ Whitner, who needs to go away. I mean, just horrible. Decade getting the victory there, which was kind of random. I think they'd build up ACH and Matt Sydal, but hey. A couple, ACH flips outside the ring, nothing really spectacular. The Decade getting the win there. Next we had Dalton Castle versus The Last Romance, Silas Young. Really just nothing really spectacular here. Dalton Castle getting the win, just coming out in this, if you've not seen this entrance, kind of like a peacock type thing with these two random guys that wave like you'd find on the beach, feigning somebody. Yeah, just kind of out there. Castle did do like a deadlift on Silas Young and ended up getting a roll up on him. As Dalton Castle and his two little guys, whatever, go to leave, Silas Young did attack one of them, and Castle ended up dragging him out of the ring and kind of random the way that went down. But Dalton Castle getting the victory there. Next up, we had the CNC Wrestle Factory, which is Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander versus the War Machine. Really not a lot of effort here. CNC Wrestling Factory getting back together here. Alexander, having his own little run, and the way this match really started, it seemed like Alexander was more heel and Coleman was face. At one point, Alexander crawls under the ring, pulls out like a wrench thing, and was holding it behind his back, trying to get the tag in from Coleman. Caprice Coleman realized what was going on, wouldn't tag him in, ended up getting beat by the War Machine, and Alexander finally comes in the ring, walks up to Coleman, pulls the wrench out, and just goes, we're done, and walks away after dropping the wrench into his tights. Very random, very okay, what just happened here? This is a very talented young tag team that could go far in the Ring of Honor tag division, but yeah, they just kind of put them back together to blow it up. So, War Machine getting the victory there. Next, we had the number one contender for the Ring of Honor title. We had former Ring of Honor champion Micheal Elgin versus Moose versus former Ring of Honor champion Roderick Strong. Really, it was a pretty decent match. Obviously, when you got a Micheal Elgin in there, yes, Micheal Elgin can work, but his career has kind of been a roller coaster. Coming in when he first came in Ring of Honor, no one really cared about him. Went out there and just kind of did what he could. Obviously, worked on it, got better, became a Ring of Honor champion, and now it's kind of like no one really cares about him anymore. He came out in this boxer-looking get-up. I don't understand what that was about. And you got Moose, who came in undefeated. Actually got beat by Cedric Alexander. Just football player, wannabe wrestler, kind of. I don't know, his first 30 seconds of his entrance, people like. They get Moose, Moose, Moose chant, and then after that, it's kind of like whatever. obviously Roderick Strong, Mr. Ring of Honor, won every title in Ring of Honor. Just one of those kind of guys who goes out there and just workhorse, can go out there and just put on a phenomenal match. And yeah, match goes alright, nothing spectacular, but he's more of an in-ring worker. Elgin did this kind of pop-up powerbomb on Moose, and it kind of, every time they went to do something, a pop-up type move with Moose, it's like they would jump in front of Moose, they would jump up, jump and fall down, and he'd close on him. Like he was supposed to catch him and do a move and couldn't figure out what to do. I guess when you have Moose doing squash matches and he actually put him in when he's got to wrestle, he didn't know what to do. So, number 1 contender for the Ring of Honor title is Roderick Strong. So with what happened in the main event, that will actually be really good going forward at Death by Dishonor next month, I believe it is. So at the end of this, we had Alexander coming out. First off, we had the little manager of Moose, Devin Scott or whatever her name is, slapping Moose. Then the other guy that's with them kind of was like, whatever. So this is kind of random. And then Cedric Alexander comes out, attacks Moose with the pipe wrench, and leaves with the girl. So you're like, what? Why? So yeah, Cedric Alexander setting up with something with Moose. Random as heck, but next we had a match I was really looking forward to. We had the Bullet Club versus the Kingdom. Bullet Club of AJ Styles and the Young Bucks versus the Kingdom, which is Adam Cole, Matt Taven, and Michael Bennett. AJ Styles being the IWGP New Japan World Champion, and then Matt Taven and Michael Bennett being the IWGP Tag Titles. So obviously this feud is not only in Ring of Honor, it's worldwide in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Obviously when you got the Young Bucks in there and Adam Cole and AJ and Taven and Bennett, you're going to have a lot of spots, a lot of high impact spots, super kicks, and destroyers by Cole, and just you got guys that can work with each other. Kind of two teams that are kind of similar in their characters, where they're at and stuff. Kind of this heel teams that are faces companies. So it's kind of neat to see. The only real big major spot was you had Maria standing there in front of the Bullet Club, and AJ hit a Pele at the same time the Young Bucks super kicked her. So it was kind of a cool little spot. You had Adam Cole hitting a destroyer on AJ. Obviously when you get guys of this quality, they can do high impact moves like that and not somebody get hurt. It's good to see Adam Cole to return. The Bullet Club getting the victory here. Don't know where this continues. Obviously, feuding in New Japan and in Ring of Honor is kind of cool for both these teams. Next, we had the Ring of Honor Tag Titles on the line. In the no DQ match, we had Champions The Addiction versus reDragon. Rematch. This is a rematch from The Addiction taking the titles from the reDragon. During the promo package, we had the Addiction calling the main event players Dragon Slayers. So I thought it was kind of cool. Again, one of those, it was a good match. A couple high impact spots, being no DQ, they got the ladders involved, cherry involved. There was one spot where the Addiction was on the outside, and I believe Daniel was sitting in a chair, and Frankie Kazarian was right behind him. Bobby Fish pulls the chair right in front of him. It's like a drop kick knee into the chair into them from O'Reilly, which is kind of cool. The setup of this arena, the set 5 or whatever up in New York, it was almost straight up and down like a theater type. And there were stairs that go up to where the ramp is, where they came down. And obviously being no DQ, these two teams started fighting over by the stairs. And you had Kyle O'Reilly do this kind of back body drop on the Kaz. Oh, he went over the stairs and fell on Fish and Daniels. At one point, the Addiction taped Bobby Fish to the middle rope. Chris Sabin comes out kind of at a random spot in the match, pulls the referee out, kind of like, okay. Kind of made no sense where it was at. And then the Addiction ended up getting the pin. so retaining their tag titles. So the Addiction retaining the tag titles by beating reDragon. Next, we had the main event. We had the Ring of Honor World Champion Jay Briscoe versus the Ring of Honor Television Champion Jay Lethal. Really, obviously, Jay Lethal over time, over the last 441 days as champion, he's built himself up, and like he even said in the promo package, I built myself around the title, and the title, and telling Jay Briscoe the title built you. I built myself around the title. Obviously, the promo package is phenomenal. I should like. I'm end up liking it on my Facebook page or YouTube page. So it'll be down with my likes. But yeah, just if you haven't seen it, take a look at it. This match was really good, I think. I mean, I was expecting better. Typically, a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, every match is quality, 3.5, 4-star match. This one only had a couple matches that were that quality. It's kind of a lot of the early part of the pay-per-view kind of dragged on. So we had Jay Briscoe and Jay Lethal here. Jay Lethal, like I said, television champion. He's been in Ring of Honor before. Went to TNA. Won titles there. X Division tag. Came back to Ring of Honor. Just kind of built himself up. Ring of Honor not really having that John Cena type character, that main face, and not really having that go-to guy. Seems like he's been that here lately with the House of Truth and Truth Martini. Obviously excited to see what happened in this match. Pretty good match, like I said. A couple spots. There was a J Driller through the table on the outside. You had Jay Lethal trying to do Jay Briscoe's J Driller, and into Lethal's lethal injection finisher he's got. Several false finishes toward the end, and then we crowned a new Ring of Honor World Champion, Jay Lethal. It's great to see him as a champion. He is a champion material. Love to see him build upon that. Obviously having two titles now, the TV title and the world title. Who knows where they go from here. Maybe he joins that faction of the Addiction and Chris Sabin, passes the TV title on to Sabin. And that way you got a faction led by Jay Lethal, the Addiction, and Chris Sabin. Just an idea. Got that one from J-Man. So that will wrap up the 2015 Ring of Honor Best in the World pay-per-view. As always, thanks for watching Roderick Sports Show, and have a spiffy night. Roderick Sports Show, the YouTube leader in sports channels.
This ain't a song for the broken hearted.